Hey guys, I'm Alysia Stern. Welcome to another episode of Rendezvous with Alysia. If you're a new agent, you're going to want to stick around because I got some tips and tricks from being a top producer. Let me tell you something. My husband retired from the New York City Fire Department and we relocated down to Myrtle Beach, not knowing a soul. We picked up our real estate business. I'm a broker in New York. And I got my license in South Carolina and Florida without knowing a soul, without having a sphere. We moved not knowing anybody, and I became a top producer within months of moving down here. So if I can do it, you can do it as well. So you just got your license. What are you going to do with it? How do you start? How do you lead generate? How do you get leads? Well, first of all, do not be a secret agent. You got to tell everybody that you're an agent. Don't throw it down their throats, but you do have to come up with ways to let people know, like, hey guys, I'm a realtor. Use me. I'm working in this area. I'm doing this, and I want to be of service for you. But let's talk about leads. How do you get leads? I'm going to talk about cold calling. Do I like cold calling? Sometimes. Do I cold call? No. I became a top producer. I do not cold call. Have I cold called? Yes. Cold called is an amazing way to build your business. If you're working for a brokerage, you need to ask your broker if they have a lead pool, a pond of leads that you can kind of tap into and start reaching out to people. It is so important to build your communication skills as a realtor because at the end of the day, communication is what is going to sell. We are not just selling houses, we are selling ourselves. So to be able to communicate with the public is so important. So starting in a room, maybe by yourself, or I loved cold calling in the beginning. We'd have cold calling nights at the brokerage, North Shore Properties Realty back on Long Island. We would have cold calling nights and we would all sit around and cheer each other on and help each other with the conversations that we were having, sitting next to our partners and they'd be like, help. They're asking me this, how do I respond? And passing the paper off to each other. It is a great way to learn how to communicate with strangers. It's a great way to be told no over and over to build your stamina. Winners fail all the time. Winners don't just win. Winners try, they work, they do things outside of the box, and then they get told no, or they fall over and over and over again until they actually succeed. So cold calling is an extremely great way to actually do that. To make as many calls as you can. Right now in Myrtle Beach, they're doing a 6-week boot camp from agents from all over, all different brokerages, and they're doing 100 calls a day. So I'm curious to keep up with some of the agents, and I see them posting it all over their social media, like how many calls they made, how many text messages, how many emails. And I'm excited for them because they're really building themselves, they're building their confidence, and they're kind of competing with each other, which makes it even more fun to do cold calling. So I would suggest if you're going to do cold calling to get some leads, your brokerage should have a huge pond of leads. Go through those ponds and make calls and take notes and introduce yourself as the new agent of the area. And sometimes just having a simple conversation, maybe that person already has a realtor, but maybe they really love the way that you reached out to them and they're going to recommend you to somebody else. Or maybe you're going to get hung up on, or maybe somebody's just going to talk to you and they have no intentions of buying or selling a home right now, but you just made a connection that maybe in 2 years from now, they will be ready. So as long as you plan on staying at that brokerage for the next 2 years, that's a great person to keep in your nurture pile. A nurture pile is kind of where you nurture. Every now and then you send a Christmas card. Maybe you want to do a pop-by. I talked about that in another video. Or you want to send a text and an email every now and then that you're thinking about them. You want to stay top of mind. So cold calling from your broker's lead pool, or there's something called listing to leads. Listing to leads is, I guess some call it clickbait, but if you're advertising on social media, you can advertise whether it's your own listing, whether it's one of your brokerage's listings. And you send out to a specific group of people, a specific area. You pay to boost the post for a specific amount of money. And then people that click on it, you automatically get their cell phone, their emails and stuff like that. Now, a lot of people on listing to leads are just looky-loos. They were just looking, they saw the picture was so enticing. Whatever you did to market yourself, it worked because you got clicks on and people wanted that. They may have no intentions of buying, they were just being nosy or they wanted to see. But they're great to keep in your own lead pool that you're gonna start creating. So listening to leads is great, cold calling is great. And again, I'm going to go back to open houses. Open houses are such a great way. Hopefully you'll get a seller that will let you have unlimited open houses. Now, as a new agent, it is kind of scary to have an open house and nobody shows. You've spent X amount of money marketing it. You sent your paperwork to Staples. You had everything printed out. You bought cookies. You brought banners. You have flags hanging all around town, and not one person showed. That sucks. That's a sucky feeling, but we've all been there. That's part of the game. But you showed up. You showed that seller that it doesn't matter, that you were going to show up. And that's all that you have to do. You don't have to impress the public. Who cares if nobody comes? You are working for the seller and you're trying to get more clientele out of the open house. So I would say do as many. I used to do happy hours on a Thursday or a Tuesday night happy hour, or even sometimes during the summer when it didn't get dark till 9 o'clock at night, I would do an evening one. I also love doing the weekends. It doesn't matter. Bring a book to read if nobody's going to be in there. That's when you can do your email. If nobody's showing up, do your emails. Send out your text messages. I wouldn't do some cold calling, because if somebody walked in and you were in the middle of picking up a new lead, it doesn't look good at the moment. But you can still do some lead gen by sending out your emails. Okay, I'm having an open house on 10 to 12 on Saturday morning. I'm packing a bag of things to do so that if nobody shows, I am so busy. I'm not sitting there, sitting on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. I am actually doing productive stuff. So open houses, even now, I'm a seasoned agent for 8 years. My husband's been doing this for 23 years. We bring a bag of productive things to do during our open house. So if nobody comes, I just got 2 hours of valuable work done. And that's what makes us stand out. We utilize every piece of time that we have. We utilize it to market ourselves, to get new leads, and to conquer. We love being top producers and helping other people. So I'll leave off with this today. If you need help, you can, email us at theheroesagents@gmail.com if you want more tips and tricks. But if you're looking to get leads, go to your broker's lead pool and start cold calling. Cold calling, I'm telling you, it will make you stronger. It will make you more confident. And if it breaks you, then maybe you're not ready to be a realtor. Think about that.